you.
Let's talk about all of this with former White House Communications Director Anita Dunn and with Bill Kristol, editor of the Weekly Standard. Good to see you guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Good to...
And everything to you too, Jake, and your family.
Thank you so much. Let's start with Donald Trump. Bill, you have been soliciting ideas for the name of a third party. Should Donald Trump get the nomination, you will, I guess, be bolting. And any good ones? Bull Moose, perhaps? Or...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, how about the Whig Party? The Republicans replaced the Whigs, so now the Whigs can replace the Republicans. The Federalist Party, that was a great party in the olden days. I don't think Donald Trump's going to be the nominee, and it's all going according to plan, Jake. No, it's a little, you're a football fan. You're a football fan. It's like misdirection on a running play, play-action pass. You want the Democrats to think, get prepared for Trump, and then, of course, he won't be the nominee, and it will be a 45-year-old senator like Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz, or a young governor like Chris Christie.
But I have to
say, and the Clinton team will all be ready for Trump.
I am starting to sense, while not an embracing of Trump by the Republican establishment, I kind of coming to terms with the fact that he may, in fact, be your nominee.
Well, the lead is amazing. He has more of a lead over the Republican field than Hillary Clinton has over Bernie Sanders. I think if you had said this 6 months ago, Trump will be more ahead of whoever the number 2 is, Cruz, Rubio, whatever, than Clinton is ahead of Sanders. It's nuts.
No, absolutely.
That's my deep analysis. That's my deep analysis of the current situation.
I don't know, Anita, I don't know how much...
Nuts.
Right.
I don't know how much stock you put in the polls, but the polls do show that Hillary Clinton would have a tough time running against Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio.
Well, Jake, I don't put a lot of stock in polls at this point because until the two parties have nominees, they're really kind of intellectual exercises, but aren't great predictors of what the general election contours shape up because it's a choice. And so I think when people start looking at the choice between if Hillary Clinton's our nominee, Hillary Clinton and a Ted Cruz or a Marco Rubio or or a Donald Trump, it becomes a very different kind of situation. One of the things that's really striking, I was listening to Bill, is that, it seems the Republican Party is really uniting around kind of the idea of a Donald Trump sort of message, that a really primal scream against their establishment, whereas the Democratic Party seems to be uniting around,
the idea of the establishment itself.
The idea of the establishment, but also continuity, and it's, I think, a really strong message about how Democrats feel about, the Obama administration and, and moving forward with some of the same sorts of values and ideas that the president has actually, worked for 7 years.
Bill, do you have any thoughts on Donald Trump's use of the word schlonged to describe what happened to Hillary Clinton in the 2008 primaries?
Can I just keep them to myself?
You're a man who knows Yiddish a little bit.
He's a very vulgar man. I think the word probably in his mind just means a generic term for somehow, defeated or whatever, but a lot of Yiddish terms that had more precise origins and were actually pretty risque or scatological or whatever where general speech just became, kind of general.
Somewhere terms. Leo Roston is rolling over.
Disapprobation. But he is Trump really is appalling. And from my point of view, honestly, a Trump-Clinton matchup, is that really what America wants? A vulgar, rich businessman and a former first lady, another rich former first lady.
But you heard Donald Trump. Donald Trump did this veiled, it wasn't so veiled, threat to Hillary Clinton. You saw it in the piece just a second ago, in which he basically said, do not play the woman card, the war on women card, or the woman being degraded card, Hillary. He was warning her. It seemed very clear to me, he was saying, I will be talking, if you keep doing that, I'm going to talk about Bill. Isn't that a risk?
I want to take issue
Not
first
Bill
with...
Kristol.
I understand, and I will defend Bill Kristol.
Thank you.
But no, I want to take issue with something Bill just said, which is, to characterize Hillary Clinton as a former first lady, a former wealthy first lady, is to ignore a lot of her experience and a lot of the things she's accomplished. And I think when voters look at her, they see someone who is undoubtedly qualified for the presidency, someone who's very tough, and who has proven that toughness over the years, winning and losing. And you can often learn more about a person by how they react to a loss and how they react to a victory. And I think no one who looks at Donald Trump is going to doubt for a minute that he will be willing to say anything and more should he become the Republican Party's nominee.
So accusations against Bill Clinton you think will come up?
Well, I can't predict what Donald Trump will do, and I don't think anybody can, including Donald Trump, on any given day. But the reality is he's shown that he isn't going to stop at anything. But the real question is that really what the American people want to hear? Is that what they're looking for in the next president? And I think Democrats look at him and they say, that's not the winning ticket for, the American people. We'll take that matchup.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to both of you. Thanks
so
much for being here.
Thank you, and to your viewers.